Right. All right. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. We have some Stevie Wonder going for us as we start this Friday. I am very excited and in a very good mood because for lots of reasons, but because of what's going on here at the school. Also, I have literally some updates that I got within the last hour that I'm including in this presentation. So I am very excited to share those with you. Thank you for joining us live. Glad that you're here. Happy Friday, and we'll get going. All right, so just as a reminder, you have joined the meeting muted. Feel free to use the chat box as needed. We are recording this meeting, and we encourage you to leave your video camera on, but you certainly do not have to. And we'll have as always, we'll have a time for Q&A at the end, and feel free to use the raise hand feature. And please unmute yourself and ask your question at that time. All right, cool. So a couple of awesome things that are happening. One is our math instruction is moving forward. We have a student who in the top left corner was figuring out patterns from a game called 25 that we played. It's a fun little game, but there's a mathematical underpinning, which is all about finding patterns between relationships of numbers. And so this young man was figuring out the strategy to finally beat Mr. Hunsberger at this game. And kids are very competitive, so that's a good thing. And then we have in the bottom right-hand corner, students who are demonstrating their growth mindset, how they strain their brain to do things that struggle with them. And that picture reminds me as to why I love so much working with middle school age students, because we can treat them as young adults because they are, and number two, we can still have fun because we're still much got the kid element in them. All right, the next two slides I literally put in half an hour ago because there's been some new updates that I'm super excited to share. The first one was we were just awarded $5,000 for our STEM teacher, Ms. Dunklin, by the SoCalGas organization, who provides a lot of grants for schools in the local area. And so Mike Harriel, who's in this picture down at the right, the picture was taken about 45 minutes ago. I was at a meeting where they presented a number of schools, including Katherine Johnson, with money for our STEM program. So we're excited to be the recipients of $5,000 for our STEM program here at Katherine Johnson STEM Academy. And so shout out to Ms. Dunklin for submitting that grant and helping us move forward. All right, next announcement. About 20 minutes ago, the head of the district Chromebook program, one-to-one devices, was actually in our office because we'd been bugging him for the last month, actually several months since the spring. When are we going to get more Chromebooks? When are we going to get more Chromebooks? When are we going to get more Chromebooks for the kids? They don't have their one-to-one devices yet. He was in the office personally 25 minutes ago telling me that the Chromebook delivery is expected today. So very, very thankful, very, very grateful that we are expecting those Chromebooks to be delivered today. We will start distributing sometime next week. By the end of next week, your child should have received their school issued Chromebook by the end of next week. So I'm super excited, and shout out to our board member who helped me nudge the Chromebook program forward. So yeah. So anyway, those were two really exciting announcements that I wanted to share with you here first on Coffee with the Principal today. All right, couple of other pieces. One is this, and I think you saw this yesterday evening, and I just want to give you a little bit of context, because in Class Dojo, you have a class that your child is assigned to. One of them may be called Whole School. One of them, maybe like a counseling group, but there is another group that your child is assigned to with some weird name. And for some of you, it's avionics. Some of you, it's engines. Some of you, it's igniters. Some of you, it's boosters. Some of you, it's fins. Some of you, it's jets. And, one question I've got is, what the heck is that? And so what we have here at Katherine Johnson STEM Academy is cohorts of students that take classes together, that go to their instructional programs together. And we used to have like grade levels and grade level names for those, like 6A, 6B, things like that. And that was kind of boring. And we really wanted to focus on our vision as a school, our focus on teamwork and collaboration, and also our focus on STEM. And so we are piloting, we're giving this a try, naming the cohorts not like 7A or 8A or 6A, but actual names of parts of a rocket. Many of you know that our mascot is the rocket. It's a tribute to Miss Katherine Johnson, who helped launch the American spaceflight program. So shout out to Miss Johnson for that. Additionally, we are excited that these names of cohorts all fit together as parts of a rocket. And so just really briefly, I wanted to share what some of these names mean for you as families, so we can reinforce being part of a team and the fact that we all need each other here at the school. So one of our cohorts, one of our 6th grade cohorts, is called avionics. And the avionics, as part of a rocket, are the electronic components of a rocket that help guide the rocket's path. So rockets, we don't just shoot them anywhere. We shoot them to specific places like the moon or like Mars. And so the avionics are the electronic systems that tell the various components where to go. Another of our 6th grade cohorts is called the boosters. And the boosters are part of a rocket that provide propulsion for the rocket to escape the Earth's gravity. So, gravity will continue to exist. And so we need extra propulsion to help us escape the Earth's gravity if we're on a rocket. And I realized that there has been some confusion about this cohort being named the boosters, and there's something else called a booster club for parents. Those are completely different. But again, our 6th grade cohort called the boosters, and the avionics are 6th graders. Our 7th grade cohorts are called the engines and the fins. Everyone knows what an engine is, and just like a car or a plane or a boat, rockets have engine as well. And so they provide for controlled navigation during the flight. And so every rocket needs an engine. And then the fins, rockets have fins. You probably see them on the outside of a rocket, and they provide stability and direction for the rocket's flight path. Without the fins, the rocket would go every which way. So again, the engines and the fins are our 7th grade cohorts. Our 8th grade cohorts are the igniters and the jets. So when you've seen like YouTube videos or on archival footage, when a rocket launches, you hear the countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then the next word that they say is ignition. And so those ignition sequences is really important to initialize the rocket getting off the ground. And so those igniters, they start the launch sequence and spark liftoff. And then finally, jets. The jets are a part of a rocket that calibrates with the outside forces of friction and gravity that all work together to make sure the rocket's going where it's supposed to go. All that to say is that every piece of a rocket is necessary. And every piece of a rocket is related to the other parts and is dependent on the other parts. And we really like this image because it connects with our vision, it connects with our values, but it also connects with the fact that we need each other, and all our students need each other as well. We're a small community, we're a small school, and that's something that we want to continue to enforce, to reinforce here at our school. So I just wanted to share with you a little bit about that as we continue in the school year. All right, so the next piece I wanted to share with our families is this. We have our two, let me back up. I'm going to share 2 short videos on something called iReady. And you may have heard your children talk about iReady. iReady is an instructional platform that's online that does a couple of things. Number one, it provides an initial diagnostic in reading and in mathematics for how students are doing at the beginning of the school year. And so it's a computer adaptive test that kids take, and it as the kids move through it, it'll give them easier questions or harder questions based on how well they've done. This is not part of their grade. It's not part of their academics, but it gives us as teachers information as to how to tailor our instruction to the students. Also, it gives you as families information as to how your students are performing at the beginning of the school year. And the reason I'm sharing this with you now is because all of our students, or about 95% of our students have finished their math and their reading iReady assessment, and we've printed out family letters for them to take home. And so your child should be receiving a letter or a report with their child's name on it in their ELA and their math classes, and they should be coming home with that in their backpacks. Some of them may have come home with it yesterday, some may come home with it today. Hopefully no later than Monday. So ask your children for that report, and you can get an initial sense as to how they're doing in terms of their math and their reading here at the start of the year. I want to show you a quick overview video of what iReady is. And I'm going to start it and then make sure it's showing.
Hi, my name is Mark Bernstein. I'm a National Director at Curriculum Associates, and we are the iReady people. For the student, iReady serves two functions. Number one, it's an online diagnostic assessment that pinpoints math and reading skills down to the sub-skill level. And number two, it's online learning that caters to a student's specific needs, whether those needs are on, above, or below level. I'd like to share 4 things you need to know about iReady. Number one, the iReady online assessment is adaptive in nature. This means that students see questions based on how they're performing. If a student struggles, the questions get easier. If a student is breezing through, the questions become more challenging. Once a student completes the diagnostic, the teacher will know exactly what the student needs, so it eliminates the necessity to over-test our children, thus allowing more time for teaching. Number two, the iReady online instruction is personalized to the individual. Once a student completes the diagnostic, his or her results will differ from classmates. So we give each student their own pathway based on diagnostic results. If the student needs help with reading comprehension, that student will get lessons to help. If the student has geometry skills above grade level, that student will receive geometry content that's above grade level. Support for those who have gaps to fill, enrichment for those who are exceeding grade level expectations. Number three, iReady is not a grading tool. Your child won't get an A or C- based on how they perform in iReady. iReady supports students, challenges students, gives students math and reading content that is right at their level. iReady helps children to grow, but it is not used to assign grades. And number four, iReady is not designed to replace the teacher. In every school district, teachers are an irreplaceable asset. iReady supports teachers by helping group students with similar needs for targeted instruction, what we call differentiation. Once small groups are established, iReady's teacher toolbox is just one of the many resources that teachers may use to provide targeted instruction. But replace the teacher? Never. Thank you very much for watching this video. We look forward to seeing your students succeed with iReady. Hi, my name is Mark.
Yep, so that's just a short little video of what iReady is. Like they said in the video, we've done the diagnostic already. We're going to do a mid-year diagnostic, and then we'll do an end-of-year diagnostic so we can see students' learning paths. But also, this is something supplemental that students will have some time on during their advisory courses. But also, this is something that we want them to practice with at home as well. And we'll be sharing more information about how you can access that at home. I'm also going to, well, whoops, I didn't put the, here we go. Let me copy the link. I'm also going to put a link in the chat to the URL that's right there, and that's more information about iReady as a whole. What I'm going to do next is just share a little bit more, and this is the second video, and this is the last video on iReady about the diagnostic and how it helps us as a school and how it helps you as family members really support our children in their learning needs, whether that's some additional support or whether that's some acceleration based on where they're at right now. So this is, again, a short little video specifically telling you about the report that you're going to get from your child in the next, by Monday, end of day Monday at the latest. So please be sure to ask for that from their backpack. They should have it. All right, here we go. Whoop, we'll get to that in a second. Oh, and I forgot to link it. Yep. All right. So actually, so here's what we'll do. I can show you where this video is here. We'll put this in our URL bar. We'll go there to the live family center, and the diagnostic is information is right here. We'll pull this up, and we'll be able to take a look at this together.
Hello, families. Your child has likely recently taken an iReady diagnostic. And in this video, we answer some of the most frequently asked questions we receive from parents and guardians about the diagnostic and its results. How about a quick refresher? What is the iReady diagnostic? Why is my student taking it? And how will it help my student? How should I think about the results? How do I read the For Families report? And lastly, what can I do to help my student? Let's start with the basics. What, why, and how. The iReady diagnostic is an adaptive assessment. As a student answers correctly, the questions get more difficult. As a student answers incorrectly, the questions get easier. This adaptability allows the iReady diagnostic to identify strengths and opportunities for growth of each student. The purpose of the iReady diagnostic is not to give your student a grade. Rather, it's to help teachers determine how best to support their learning. It's helpful to know that the goal is for every student to be performing on or above grade level. This means that students have mastered the skills in their current grade and are prepared to learn more advanced skills. You might wonder, but what if my student is performing below grade level? This situation can happen, and teachers and schools have many strategies and programs to help accelerate your students' learning. Having this information can help you, your student, and the teachers have the right conversations to make the needed progress. You might also wonder, what if my student's score went down or did not show growth? A lower score does not necessarily mean that your child did not learn or that your child lost skills. Scores can be affected by things like stress, distraction, taking the diagnostic in a different place, and receiving help. Teachers take this into account and use the data from iReady as one of many tools to understand your students' unique needs and progress. Many teachers provide families with this report. It's called the For Families report. On this report, the blue bar on the graph indicates how your student performed on the test in relation to their grade level, which is indicated by the green shading. If your student has taken 2 assessments, there will be 2 blue bars. The national norm percentile below the graph lets you know how your student performed in relation to students in the same grade level nationwide. Students have different areas of strength and opportunities for growth. It is important to understand how your student did in more specific learning areas, which are called domains. The domain table shows how your student performed in these domains and helps teachers know where to build on strengths and focus their support. Finally, how can you help your student? First, you can openly discuss these results. Celebrate their strengths and progress and collaborate with them on planning how they will reach their goals. You can also reach out to your student's teacher to get a full picture of your child's progress and learning, as well as suggestions on how you can best support your student at home. If your student uses iReady personalized instruction, review their progress on the student dashboard and discuss their learning together. Visit the iReady Family Center for additional information and helpful guidance and tools to support your student at home. Your involvement in your students' learning is invaluable to their growth and progress. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and thanks for being a part of the iReady family.
Awesome. So again, we encourage folks to, when you get the report, discuss it with your child, and know that we here at Katherine Johnson STEM Academy are additionally including some of the programs and opportunities within the platform to assist with learning growth and learning goals. So be on the lookout for that report. You should be getting it latest end of the day Monday, although many kids should have it today. All right. That's that. All right, a couple of announcements of some events that are coming up. many of you know that one of the cool things that is being built just a couple of 100 yards from here, past 91st Street on some vacant land, is a community center called Lulu's Place. So long story short, Lulu's Place will be a place where youth in the area can go for tennis and soccer and golf, and there'll be a park there, and there'll be a STEM learning center there as well. It's really a community collaboration and partnership with some amazing folks, including a generous donor who's pouring, I think, like $80 million into the project to build this community center. His wife, whose name was Lulu, was loving tennis, and she passed away from cancer 5-6 years ago, and so he was looking for a way to honor her memory. And so they're building Lulu's Place, which is also a partnership with the U.S. Tennis Association, the Tiger Woods Foundation with golf, and some other organizations as well. They're having a community open house tomorrow from 10 a.m. to noon, not too far from here, at the LAX Airport Police Facility, which is not too far from here. It's just south of the Ralphs, back on Loyola Boulevard, kind of where Loyola Boulevard meets Westchester Parkway. So we invite you to come out, bring the whole family, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Again, this is information that's going to all sorts of schools in our community. So I'm going to try to make it, and hopefully maybe I'll see some of you and your families there. All right. We are having our first outdoor family movie night a week from today. So it's going to be Friday, September 15th. We're going to blow up, we have a big, cool, inflatable outdoor screen. Snacks will be available for purchase. Movie will start at 6:30 p.m. Come a little bit early. We'll have some outdoor games ahead of time. Bring a lawn blanket and a low lawn chair. It's a great way to launch our outdoor film series. We like starting with Hidden Figures. A big shout out to our parent booster group who is helping to organize this. So mark your calendars a week from today, Friday, September 15th. All right, that is my last announcement, and we have a little bit of time for questions. But again, just to recap, two important late updates for folks who joined us late. I don't know where they were. Yep, we got a STEM grant for a STEM teacher for $5,000. Yay, Miss Dunklin. And Chromebooks are getting delivered to the school site today, so we'll be able to distribute them to all of our kids and their families next week. So we're very, very excited about that. All right. That's it for me. I talked longer than I usually like to talk on these, but at this point, I will pause and see what questions there might be. So if you have a question, feel free to put it in the chat or just unmute yourself. Okay. First questions, I can take them together, are where can I order PE clothes, and are the hoodies still available to purchase? Website has an error. Okay, so thank you for flagging that. Let me go to the website and see if I can potentially regenerate the error. So we can take a look at that. Nope, not our tour page, our website. So if you go to that's our tour page. If you go to our website, we will go to the incoming students, and it will see KGSA hoodie / PE clothes. You can pop this open, and it will open up a window. And you just put in your name, your email, and here's where you put in the information about either the PE clothes that you want to order or the hoodies that you want to order. So when you fill all this out, you'll be able to click complete and sign. And what will happen on the back end of this is that our our school will get a copy of this and we'll start putting together your order. I thank you for your patience on this time. I think I shared before, our financial manager recently got a promotion. So right now we're working with our existing staff to work on fulfilling orders. So we are aware that there are some orders that have been made that have not been fulfilled yet. Thank you so much for your patience. I've also alerted our PE teacher, Miss Casimir, that yes, we're still getting some orders, and we've given her the list of names of students who have ordered them but have not received their PE uniform yet, so it's not held against them. And she's very flexible as well. We just want to make sure that kids, are dressing. At the end of the day, if you have put in an order and you've not received it yet because we're backlogged a little bit with these, just have your child bring shorts and a t-shirt, and Miss Casimir, our PE teacher, will know that the name of specific students who have put in an order yet and it's not been fulfilled. But thank you for your patience as we're working on these. Great question. All right, let me go back here. There we go. Are the children receiving brand new Chromebooks? So some of the Chromebooks will be new. Some of them will be ones that we've had for a while. It will depend on how many new ones we get. We would love to give everyone a new one, but we may not be able to give everyone a new one. But we have gone through all of our existing inventoried Chromebooks that we have here on site to make sure that all of them are working and doable. The other thing that you can do is this. This was in our acceptance letter, but and some families have already done this. If you go to the website, I'm going to put in the chat, device.lausd.net. If your child receives a used one and you would like them to have a new one, you can put in a request at device.lausd.net, and then the district will process that separately, and then we can assign them the new one. But again, the goal is end of next week, everyone's got one that they can log in and use. All right. Yep. So our 6th grade, the next comment says, we were told some classes have 20 kids and others have 37 kids. What steps are you taking to keep class sizes small? Will more teachers be hired? So a couple of things. Number one is it's not quite 37. Right now it's I think it's 34. But the other piece is this: because we now have the iReady data, we have more information about our students' performance and their academic needs. So starting probably on September 18th, there will be some balancing of those two cohorts to get those classes more in line with each other. So the smaller one will be a little bit bigger, and the bigger one will be a little bit smaller. I don't know if they'll have the exact same number of students or not, because it's based on the instructional needs of the students, not necessarily a number. But yeah, right now we have a wait list for 6th grade, so that's a good problem to have. It's the first year we've ever had that. So yeah, so at this point we don't have enough of a wait list to generate another teaching position. But who knows about future years as we continue to grow. So great question there. When are PE clothes being used? So PE clothes are only used on the days that your child has PE. So that would either be Mondays and Thursdays or Wednesdays and Fridays. So all students have all their classes on Tuesdays, but it's a shorter period, so they don't change on Tuesdays. All right. Am I certain they're delivering enough Chromebooks with the number? So I am certain when I see them all, waltz into our main office that I know. But the number that I was told by the gentleman who was in the office this morning is sufficient for us to ensure that every kid has their own device. So great question. All right. When will his class begin? When their PE close. So students were assigned their lockers this week. So students should plan on starting dressing next week, whether that's Monday, Thursday, or Wednesday, Friday. And if you reach out to Miss Casimir on Class Dojo, she's real responsive and will be able to answer more detailed questions. All right. Robotics team. Yep. Robotics team has started. Math club. We are working with an organization called Math Counts. I am not, and that's a national organization, so they all have the same start date. Because some schools on the East Coast don't start till after Labor Day. They usually start probably like mid-September, late September. So we're looking for that to start very shortly. Mr. Kendrick is the leader of that, so he'll know the most details about the specific date on that. You can reach out to him on Class Dojo. All right. Oh, whoops, I'm still sharing this. All right. Wonderful questions. We are at 10:31. So if there were questions that I didn't get to that you still have for me, feel free to send me a message directly in Class Dojo. That's the fastest way. Or you could send me an email. Can certainly do it that way as well. Or a lot of times your child's teacher has even more up-to-date information than I do. So those are great folks to reach out to as well. Anyway, with that said, I want to say thank you so much for joining this morning's Coffee with the Principal. Excited about a lot of great things going on here at Katherine Johnson STEM Academy. Have a great Friday. Today is early dismissal, 2:03 p.m. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend, and we'll see everyone back here on Monday. Have a great day.